As August 2nd, 2026 begins, Virgo, you may notice something unusual about yourself. Before the world around you becomes busy, before your phone begins filling with notifications, before responsibilities start demanding your attention, you'll feel an unexpected sense of calm. It's almost as though your mind already understands that today is not meant to be spent worrying about every small detail. Instead, the universe invites you to see the bigger picture. As one of the most thoughtful and hardworking signs of the zodiac, you've always believed that success comes through discipline, patience, and careful planning. You rarely expect life to hand you opportunities without effort. Instead, you quietly build your future one decision at a time. While others search for shortcuts, you've spent years developing experience, wisdom, and practical skills that nobody. Today, those qualities begin producing visible results. Over the past several weeks, you've likely placed enormous pressure on yourself. Perhaps you've questioned whether you're doing enough. Maybe you've worried that progress has been slower than expected. Or perhaps you've been comparing your journey with someone else's, forgetting that every person's path unfolds differently. The universe gently reminds you today, stop measuring your progress against anyone else's timeline. Your future belongs only to you. Everything you've experienced has been preparing you for opportunities that are now beginning to appear. Professionally, August 2nd becomes one of your strongest days in recent weeks. Your reliability, organization, and ability to notice details that others completely miss make you incredibly valuable. Whether you're working, managing a business, studying, or searching for a better opportunity, someone begins recognizing qualities you've quietly demonstrated for a long time. A manager may trust you with greater responsibility. A client may recommend your work. An unexpected opportunity may appear through someone who has quietly admired your dedication. Don't underestimate your reputation. People notice consistency far more than you realize. If you've been thinking about changing careers, applying for a promotion, improving your qualifications, or starting your own business, today's energy encourages careful but confident action. Today reminds you that preparation eventually must become action. No plan becomes successful unless someone has the courage to begin. Financially, today's outlook becomes increasingly positive. You may receive encouraging news regarding income, discover a practical way to improve your finances, or begin creating a long-term strategy that offers greater security. While abundance slowly begins entering your life, avoid emotional purchases. Focus instead on building lasting stability. Every dollar managed wisely today creates greater freedom tomorrow. You may also discover that one of your practical talents has greater financial potential than you've previously believed. Something you've always considered ordinary may eventually become one of your greatest professional strengths. Don't ignore your gifts simply because they feel natural. The abilities that come easiest to you often become your greatest advantages. Emotionally, today becomes quietly transformative. For quite some time, you've been carrying invisible pressure. Pressure to succeed. Pressure to never make mistakes. Pressure to always remain responsible. Today, you begin releasing some of that unnecessary weight. You realize something important. You don't have to be perfect to be valuable. That realization feels incredibly freeing. Instead of criticizing yourself for everything left unfinished, that simple shift changes your entire emotional landscape. Love carries supportive, comforting energy throughout August 2nd. If you're already in a relationship, today becomes an excellent opportunity to strengthen trust through honest communication. Your partner appreciates your loyalty far more than you realize. Sometimes you become so focused on solving practical problems that you forget how meaningful your emotional presence truly is. Simply listening, simply understanding, simply being there. Those moments strengthen love more than grand romantic gestures. If you're single, someone may unexpectedly attract your attention through intelligence rather than appearance. Conversation flows naturally, mutual respect develops quickly, and you begin realizing that genuine emotional connection matters far more than temporary excitement. Allow everything to unfold naturally. The strongest relationships are never rushed. Family life also receives beautiful energy today. A relative may share encouraging news or seek your advice regarding an important decision. Your calm perspective helps others feel secure, even when situations become complicated. However, remember something equally important. Helping others should never require neglecting yourself. Healthy boundaries protect both your peace and your relationships. Health also deserves thoughtful attention today. Virgo often becomes so focused on productivity that personal well-being quietly moves into the background. Your body reminds you that consistent rest, balanced nutrition, hydration, and movement are not luxuries. They're necessities. A healthy body creates a stronger future. Mentally, your focus becomes exceptionally sharp. Tasks that recently seemed overwhelming begin feeling surprisingly manageable because your priorities become clearer. Instead of trying to accomplish everything simultaneously, you naturally focus on what matters most. That clarity dramatically improves your confidence. Spiritually, August 2nd carries subtle but meaningful energy. Pay attention to recurring dreams, unexpected memories, quiet intuition, meaningful coincidences. Sometimes the universe whispers before it speaks loudly. Trust your inner voice today. It has far more wisdom than your doubts. As the afternoon slowly moves toward evening, you'll recognize something remarkable. You no longer feel the need to control every outcome. Instead, you trust yourself to handle whatever arrives. That emotional maturity becomes one of today's greatest achievements. By the end of the afternoon, you'll realize that this day was never about becoming someone different. It was about finally recognizing the incredible person you've already become. As the evening arrives, Virgo, you'll begin recognizing that today's greatest achievement isn't something the world can immediately see. It isn't a promotion, a financial reward, or a dramatic breakthrough. Instead, it's something happening quietly inside you. Your confidence is returning. Not the loud confidence that seeks attention. The quiet confidence that comes from experience. The confidence that no longer needs constant reassurance because it has been earned through years of persistence. For a long time, you've placed impossible expectations upon yourself. You expected perfection before allowing yourself to feel proud. You focused on every unfinished task instead of recognizing everything you had already accomplished. Today's energy gently changes that perspective. You finally understand something important. Progress has always mattered more than perfection. Professionally, the second half of August 2nd continues bringing encouraging developments. Someone may unexpectedly praise your work, recognize your reliability, or ask for your advice regarding an important project. Don't be surprised if people begin trusting your judgment more openly. Your reputation has been growing quietly. While others sought attention, you built credibility, and credibility always lasts longer than popularity. If you've recently questioned whether your hard work was truly making a difference, today provides reassurance. Every late night, every difficult decision, and every responsibility you've handled has been preparing you for opportunities that are much closer than you think. Continue moving forward. Success often arrives immediately after the moment people become tempted to quit. Financially, stability continues improving. You may discover a smarter way to organize your budget, receive encouraging financial news, or begin planning investments that strengthen your future. Continue thinking long-term. Quick rewards disappear quickly. Wise decisions continue paying you for years. Emotionally, tonight becomes especially healing. You stop carrying guilt for things beyond your control. You stop blaming yourself for every disappointment. And most importantly, you stop believing that one mistake defines your future. Life has never expected perfection from you, only growth. That realization feels incredibly liberating. Love continues carrying gentle, supportive energy. If you're already in a relationship, This evening encourages meaningful conversations about your future together. Instead of focusing on everyday responsibilities, allow yourselves to dream again. Shared goals create stronger relationships than shared worries. Sometimes simply asking, "What do you hope for?" opens the door to beautiful conversations. If you're single, don't lose faith simply because the right relationship hasn't appeared yet. You aren't behind. You aren't forgotten. You're simply being prepared for someone who appreciates everything you've become. The strongest relationships often arrive after we've learned to value ourselves first. Family life also becomes warmer tonight. A relative may unexpectedly express appreciation for something you've done, reminding you that your kindness has never gone unnoticed. People may not always say thank you immediately, but they remember. Friendships also bring encouragement. Someone close could inspire you to think bigger about your future or remind you of strengths you've forgotten you possess. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your growth rather than compete with it. Health remains positive, especially as your emotional stress continues decreasing. Your body naturally responds when your mind becomes calmer. Make sleep a priority tonight. Tomorrow's success begins with today's recovery. Spiritually, your intuition becomes remarkably clear. You may notice meaningful dreams, repeating numbers, or quiet feelings confirming that you're moving in the right direction. Don't ignore those moments. Your intuition has quietly guided you through every difficult chapter of your life. It won't fail you now. As the night comes to an end, you'll recognize something beautiful. You've spent so much time trying to build a better future that you forgot to appreciate the incredible person you've already become. You're wiser, more resilient, more patient, more capable, and far stronger than you sometimes allow yourself to believe. The universe leaves you with one final message tonight. Never underestimate the extraordinary strength hidden inside quiet determination. While others may seek quick victories, you continue building a life based on integrity, patience, wisdom, and genuine purpose. Every lesson you've learned has prepared you for greater success. Every challenge has strengthened your character, and every careful step you've taken has moved you closer to the future you've always dreamed about. Continue trusting your journey, believe in your abilities even when progress feels slow, and never forget that your greatest achievements are still ahead of you. The universe isn't testing your limits anymore. It is preparing to reward your persistence. Your brightest chapter has already begun, and the life you've been patiently building is finally beginning to bloom.